And then the more I talked to you, I was like, oh, well, this girl's cool. You know? This girl's fun to talk to. And then I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then I didn't really think that you would actually come up. And then, like, today I was like, oh, well, I'll do it this week or something. And then you're like, oh, well, I got the bus tickets. This is the time. And I'm like, oh, shit, she's doing it. So I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, can you pick up Nicole today? And he was like, yeah, why? And I was like, yeah, it's a long story. Someone just wants to talk to me about things because I'm amazing. I know I keep saying that, only because I have very low self-esteem. I try to be as confident as I can. If you were to ask me if I had a girlfriend, I would say no. I'm not the type of person who would have a girlfriend because basically I had a great relationship when I was about 15 that lasted until I was 16. And my heart was just ripped the fuck open. And then I had, I don't know, like I met another girl and I was like, you know what happened in the past is the past. And as much as my heart was broken at that time, it's like, it's not gonna happen again. You know what I mean? You made mistakes. You know you made mistakes. So just don't make those same mistakes. But I was prescribed medicine, and thank God they stopped. So within 1 year, my heart was fucking broken again. I had these seizures, which just made me go crazy because they were scary as shit. And that's when I started getting anxiety real bad. And I started taking Xanax and everything. And I kind of pulled myself back together. But at that point in my life, my self-esteem was just in the ground, like in the dirt. And I realized like emotional connection was so much more important than physical connection could ever be. Yeah. And then I got depressed. I did. I was the guy who could pick up any girl at any time, anywhere. The most beautiful girls, but I was depressed and I couldn't understand why. And then once I figured out that it's because I didn't really have like that emotional connection to anyone, but I'm scared to look for it. Like I said, I am a confident person. You know, I am happy with myself, the way I portray myself, but I guess searching for emotional connection scares me because of the fact that, you know, what happened all those years ago, twice. That's my outlook. I think my love is my Achilles heel. Because everything else in my life I'm pretty proud of. And I see it progressively getting worse and worse, and it scares me. Because, okay, this is something that I've never told anyone. Let's say if in the morning when she goes somewhere, she doesn't go far. She might go to the dollar store. She might go get her eyebrows done. She'll go somewhere, you know, really close. Wherever she goes, she'll be back 20 minutes, half hour to an hour. She'll be back, and she'll always just leave a little note if I'm not awake. Hey, went here. Be right back. Okay. And then it got to the point. One day I woke up, I saw the note, and I was thinking about her getting progressively worse health-wise. I'm like, damn, one day she's gonna leave, and there won't be a note, you know? But I try to keep a positive outlook. It's extremely hard, but I try to. But then you spill duck sauce on your shirt, and your day goes to hell. Everywhere you go, there's shooting.
that confirmation button and let's go. Because bookers know that the perfect place to stay, right there. Be a booker.
Where'd you meet Tim at down there?
I started doing like this art project, and he responded.
Today.
Huh?
Today.
We met at Banana Leaf.
Where?
Banana Leaf, a restaurant in Chinatown. Okay.
Like, this is my grandma, the one I was talking about.
Mm.
We called her man. Then, he is.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, hon.
Take your water.
There was nothing in it.
Thank you. Yeah, he's crazy, you know that. When I was young, I started spray painting. I used to write bingo. And a friend of mine from Philadelphia, actually, Southwest Philly, was like, dude, I found this great spot. You had to go check it out. And I was like, cool. And I'm thinking, oh, somewhere under a bridge or something, but it was, where the fuck do you go to get it? It was over there. But it was this place. And it was like when I first saw it, I'm like, this is a fucking museum. I really enjoyed it. If you were gonna stereotype something, which again I don't like to do, but if you were to, he'd be like, imagine if 2 Chainz walking in the barbershop, or I don't know, Lil Wayne with less tattoos. He comes in and his eyes. First thing I noticed, eyes were redder than my jacket, you know. And but then you look close, you can tell this man's in pain. I was like, oh, I haven't seen you before. You from around here? He said, no, I'm actually from Atlanta. Oh, okay, that's cool. You got family up here or something? He's like, no, actually, I'm attending a funeral. So, oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. My best wishes to you. I apologize to hear that. Basically said, he said a few things, friend, good friend, but he basically said he was my lover. You know, it turns out this man was gay, which, you know, I don't have any problem with. That's cool, but he's not, he just isn't the type of person who looks like he would be attracted to other men. And he goes, no one will ever know that this man was my lover. He says, I have a wife and I have children. He says, I love my children, I love my wife. I love being a father, I love being a family man. And I love this man as well. So I enjoy it, but it's hard for me to write, because for me to write, I have to be completely relaxed. But I never get to do it. I'm never that calm. You know, a lot of people, they can kind of just go like this, you know, maybe yawn a bit, and then lift weight off their shoulders and just relax. I haven't been able to do that since like 2007. I stress too much, I worry too much, and I haven't been happy in a long time. I don't remember what it's like to be happy.
When was the last time you were happy?
When I was younger.
Did you feel like you had nothing to worry about when you were younger?
Yeah, nothing. And then when you do find someone like that, you latch on to them. And then you realize that person's a piece of shit too. And then you try to go to your mother or father for help, but they're worried about bills, and they're worried about sending your sister to college and giving her money, that they don't have time to really sit down and talk to you. And your dad thinks everything can be solved with, you know, a couple dollars. you know, $50, $100, when really you just want to sit down for 10 minutes and have a conversation with your father about your life. When you know that it's not going to happen with your mom. Your mom is just, she's not going to give you the time. And then you see nobody else is listening. Just you. So you put that on your shoulders and you don't mind. Because you're supposed to be good and kind and nice to people. Especially your family. So what do? You stop worrying about your problems and you take on everyone else's problems. Because at least that'll keep your mind off of your own problems. I do. I find normal extremely boring. And when I say I want to meet the real life Joker, I guess I'm about half serious because obviously there is no real life Joker, but there are people who are just as fucking crazy. Grew up in middle America. Turned 18, he joined the army. When he was about 19 or 20, he became a Green Beret. You know, he was one of the best Marines I'm sorry, he joined the Marines, not the Army, but he was one of the best Marines that this nation's ever seen. And he was one of the most patriotic as well. But he gets out of the Marines, and using all the knowledge that he learned from the Marines, he decides to blow up a DEA building. And he takes out I want to say 30-plus story building. With one bomb, he takes out half of it and kills hundreds of people. You know, and what drives someone who was so patriotic to just fucking turn left and kill a bunch of innocent people? Absolute, like, no errors. Absolute zero error, I guess you would say. So he builds it, and then he starts making these bombs with no metal. Doesn't use any metal. He uses wood, and he cuts a tree. Instead of like nails, he makes like these wooden shards. And I guess actually no, there had to be a little bit of metal, a little bit of wire in it, but not that much. So as soon as someone opened the box and pulled it out, a flap would come up, and that would ignite the bomb and kill people. And he did this it took about 25 years to catch him. You know, and that's what happens when you push a man to the edge at such a young age. And I'm not saying what he did was justified. I'm not saying that at all. He killed a lot of innocent people, and that you can't do that. You can't. That's illegal. But imagine if he wasn't subjected to that torture. Imagine what a man of his genius could have achieved. You know. So Ted Kaczynski actually wrote a manifesto. The manifesto was entitled Industrial Society and Its Future, which I read. And I actually want to get back to that because not only myself, but a lot of people who read it did really agree. You're driving in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing but farm around you. Hypothetically, of course. And you come to a stoplight, and you realize there's nobody, not one person within a 10-mile radius of you. It's the middle of the night, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, there's a red light. Now again, you know for a fact there's no one within a 10-mile radius of you, but you stop, and you'll sit at that red light until it turns green. Wouldn't you? Why? Because we have this thing in us where we just obey. As far as a social experiment, I think that if you put one person with another person, you just have a few, the tiniest, minute of similarities, and at the same time you find each other just barely attractive enough to, talk to and sit down and take pictures with. You put them in a room, in a chair, a glass of wine, or some sort of alcoholic beverage to inebriate both of them. I think that I think if someone were to do that, those people could end up getting married. Uh, the movie Good Will Hunting explains it best. Basically, Robin Williams. He says that it's kind of funny in the movie. He says that when he was married, his wife in the middle of the night would fart, and he said he was the only one that knew because he was the only one that slept next to her every night. To which he continued to say, and that's what love is: loving someone for their imperfections and not for their perfections.